ready to go. On the Fan, New York Sports Radio. Mike's on, Mike's on.
A little after 2 on what will be the final show after all these years. After 30 years on the Fan, this is my final program today. So we're just taking calls. That's it. Throughout the day, I will make picks later in the program for this week's NFL games. And then we'll see where those are next week, but I'll be making them somewhere just so that we finish up the continuity of the season. So what I want to do is, rather than at the end, thank everybody. Each hour, I wanted to take a little segment at the top and just thank different segments for the different things through the years. The first thing I want to do is this hour is thank the teams because, they've been, I have to admit, they've been great to me. I mean, I'm talking about owners, I'm talking about general managers, talking about the publicity guys, the guys who run the information, the media guys, I mean, all the guys. So to all the teams in town, I mean, I've had my moments with a couple of the owners, there's no question. But for the most part, from the standpoint of the owners to the general managers to the coaches, they have been pretty open. They've been accessible. They've come on a program. I've talked to a lot of them through the years in the mornings getting ready for the show. I mean, I've driven to work a lot of days, and it takes a couple of minutes to get here, especially these days, and chatted with a lot of them on the way in. So I've heard from a couple of them, more than a couple in the last couple of days, but I want to thank them openly for the thing they bring to the show. You need the guys who make the decisions, the owners, the general managers, the coaches to make themselves accessible, to come on and talk about things, and they've done that. So I thank them for that. And it'd be very difficult to do a show without those people. So, we have, not every relationship's the same. We know that. Some are closer than others, but I do thank everyone for that, all the teams. And I've heard from most of the teams. The Mets, as an example, were nice enough to send me cufflinks today. I've got jerseys and mementos from almost every team in town, so I thank everybody for all their generosity and their kindness. John in Tappan, New York. What's up, John?
Hey, Mike, it's an honor to be on your last show.
You.
I thank you so much.
Thank you.
Quick question and just a quick comment. The question is, I've wanted to write to you, and life got in the way. If I send it to the station, will they forward it to you?
Yeah, Mons, I think Mons will make sure he gets, all my mail sent to me. So whatever's sent here after I'm gone, they'll make sure that they're able to send it to me. So thank you. Yes, and I will try to answer it. I've gotten a tremendous amount of mail. We've sent back all the cards that people have sent. Mons has become an expert on getting that card back into the little packet that it comes, because I pop it out of the packet and sign it, and then I give it to Mons, and then he has to put it back in the packet and then mail it to you guys. And that thing's a pain in the neck to get back in the packet. That's why I leave it to Mons. So I say, Mons, here, put him back in. So I go in there and sign him and hand them to him. So we've had a bunch of them the last couple of years. When they came and asked me to do the card a couple of years ago, and I actually went home and asked my kids, I said, what do you think? Should I do this Facebook? Oh, yeah, Dad, you have to do it. So I did the card. And, I was very happy. It's a nice card. But I never thought that I would be getting literally hundreds of them sent to me here at the Fan to send back to the Fan. So I have done that, and we've sent them. But I really appreciate a lot of the correspondence. I told you I heard from Judy in Brooklyn. I couldn't believe it, so I hope she's doing well. She sent me a card. I hadn't heard from her in years. I wondered what happened to her. She used to call all the time. She says she can't call, but she still listens every day. So thank you, Judy, for that. And get well. I know you've had some injuries, so get well. And I got one the other day that really, I have to admit, once in a while you get something that you say, wow. I got something in the mail. Now, if you're old enough to remember the Blondie comic, the Blondie cartoon that you see, all the time in the newspaper. I mean, that's an iconic cartoon, and I grew up seeing Blondie in the comics, and the cartoon. Well, the guy who draws the cartoon, John Marshall, sent me a letter and sent me a cartoon that he created for me about me, in the cartoon, which was really nice. And it's colorful, just beautiful. I mean, it's so well done. And said that he has drawn thousands of Blondie comics while listening to the show. So going back years. So I thank him for that. I sent him a letter already, but I wanted to thank him publicly because he sent it to me and I took it home and I showed it to my wife. She's like, "Oh, we have to frame this." I said, "Absolutely." That's why I brought it home. I put it in my office. I thought it was great. He did a cartoon where Blondie goes up to Dagwood and says, why are you so glum? What's going on? And he said, he's got a radio in him and he says, "Mike's not on today." So that was the cartoon. So I really appreciated it. So it was really well done. And I thank him for that. And I didn't even know he was a listener, but I have seen that cartoon a million times. So has everybody else. I mean, it's iconic. It's been all over the world. So stuff like that I've received in the last couple of days has been unbelievable. Arthur in Bay Ridge. What's up, Arthur?
Hey, let me tell you something, Mike. When you said that New York is the greatest city in the world, of course you're correct. And after 30 years, you can honestly say that you are really one of the reasons why that fact is true.
Oh, that's very nice.
And there is no greater compliment. By the way, I kind of snuck in as Arthur from Bay Ridge. It's Arthur Idala, Lawrence Taylor's lawyer, Julio's best friend.
I know, Arthur. How you doing? Thank you. Nice to you.
Frank,
Thank you.
Mike, what I want to just say is when people ask me about who you are, I don't talk about how kind you were when you interviewed me for Lawrence or anything like that. I talk about when we were at Yankee Stadium and I was a new father. We were at Jeter's 3,000 hit game, and you kept warning me to take my 4-year-old out of the sun. You're like, "Artie, you shouldn't have him in the sun, Artie. You got to get him out of the sun." I didn't listen to you. He wound up throwing up all over me, and you sprung into action. You got 2 bottles of water. You cleaned him up. You put water down his thing. You asked the first aid people to come. And when people ask me who Mike Francesa is, I said, that's when you learn who a person is. Under those kinds of conditions, we were in the front row. Jeter was just about
I remember.
And you sprung into action.
Well,
and
thanks.
I'm not going to miss you, Mike, because not that I have any insider information, but you have too much energy and wealth of knowledge, and you have too much to offer the rest of us that you're not going far. By hook or by crook, I know I'm going to be listening to you soon.
Thanks, Arthur, very much. Appreciate it.
God bless you.
Thank you. Thanks. Arthur Idala, who you see on Fox Network, the lawyer. So one of Julio, grew up with Julio, as a matter of fact. And he did have his, those seats were my seats at Yankee Stadium on an afternoon game. Those seats are in the sun, and it can get, I like the sun. But there are days where it is scorching hot there. And my kids used to say, "Dad, I got to go inside. I can't take it. I can't take it." I said, "Well, after the 3rd inning, they'll be out of the sun." But the first couple innings, and Artie was down there with us, and his kid was in the sun. I said, "You got to get him out of here." His kids like, "You can't sit here anymore." I mean, it was like 100 degrees, and it was, you know how it is. You just broil. I mean, there's been times where I couldn't sit in the seat anymore, and I love the sun. I mean, I'm a guy who never wears a hat. I'm a guy who on the golf course never wears a hat, and I can't get enough sunshine. I love the sun. I mean, I'm a sun worshiper, but you know what? There's days where you just can't even sit in those seats. They're so hot. Joe in Long Island, what's up, Joe?
Mike.
Yes.
Mike, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, Mike?
Good,
I've
Joe.
been listening. I'm a truck driver. I've been listening to you for 30 years. I only got through once or twice. One time when LT was on, and I wanted to say, when you were with Mad Dog, my favorite time was when you guys would exchange your Christmas presents. Hello?
I'm listening, but we have a bad connection. Why don't you try calling back? Because we couldn't hear you very well, so that was the problem. So just try and, if you can, call us back. Appreciate it. Bye. Jack in Woodbridge. What's up, Jack?
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good, Jack. What's happening?
Not much. I just want to say, I can't wait to see where you end up next. I'll be following you along.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And probably my favorite time on the show was the year of the Super Bowl contest where you guys were giving away that private jet as like a bonus that year. And I remember watching it on TV that week with my grandparents, and it was just a whole lot of fun, and we had a great time watching it with you guys.
Well, thank you. That contest was always fun. I tell you something. When I named the dog the Marquis because he used to like to torture the people. Dog's favorite thing was to have people never get the right answer, and he could just torment them, like let them get to 4 and then just torment them, and then giggle when they lost. He would love it. So I started calling him the Marquis, meaning the Marquis de Sade, and then he said, what if I get an outfit? I said, you know what? It's a good idea. Get an outfit. So he got the outfit. He said, he played it up to no end. So it turned into an amazingly entertaining character. Dan in Pennsylvania. What's up, Dan?
Mike, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and success in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
I grew up in Seaford, New York, and when I would travel back to New York, my father would work for Amtrak and meet me at Penn Station, from Pittsburgh into here at New York. The two things I looked forward to most was listening to you and Dog and Howard Stern, because I couldn't get you guys because it was the internet was completely different back then. But and it was a huge thrill for me to listen to you, and it's a huge thrill as a kid to an adult. And I'm gonna miss you very much, because there's no better advocate for the Yankees than you on this station, and I'm gonna miss that immensely.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Again, I appreciate the kind words, and again, thanks for listening. I mean, that's what it's all about. Is just you guys have been such an amazing audience to me, so I cannot thank any of you enough. Catherine in Connecticut. What's up, Catherine?
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Good.
First
How are
time,
you?
long time.
Nice to talk to you.
I just want to... Excuse me?
Nice to talk to you, I said.
Nice to talk to you as well. I'll make this quick.
Go ahead.
I just want to say thank you, as always, for making my family and I have very entertaining conversations about Mets and Jets. You always brought joy to our lives, so thank you again, and I wish you the best of luck on your future endeavors.
Well, thanks. I didn't realize it was. I didn't realize it was you. So I didn't realize it was that I knew you. So that's why I apologize. So thanks for. Thanks for
no,
calling.
I wanted to surprise you on your last day. Of course, I had to call in.
Thank you. I didn't realize it was you. So thank you very much. That's very. I appreciate you calling.
Hey, you've done a great job over the years, and when I tell you, you are a great person, and I really appreciate all that you've done. And congrats again.
Thanks very much. That's nice of you to call. Thanks very much. I appreciate it. So she used to work at FAN. That's why. And Mom just told me who she was. So I didn't want to use her last name on the air, and she didn't. But she used to work here. So that's the reason why. John calls us from Chicago. John, what's going on?
Hi, Mike. Good. How are you?
Good, John. What's up?
Thank you for all your time on the air. It's been a pleasure listening to you. Me and my dad always listened to you in the car, and it was always a pleasure.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Are you a transplanted New Yorker?
Yes, I am. I'm actually driving out to Chicago right now. I'm in the middle of Ohio.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks. I appreciate the call, and have a good trip. Peter in the Bronx. What's up, Peter?
Hey, Mike. Thanks for the past 30 years. Listener probably from almost day one. Just wondering the past couple of weeks if anyone brought up one of these long-time callers. Vinny from Queens. Did anybody mention him?
I don't know if anyone's mentioned Vinny. Vinny's been gone for a while. I mean, it's amazing. He was such a diehard Yank, and if people have to have been around the show for a long time to have remembered Vinny from Queens. But he actually had an accident years and years ago. We didn't realize at first. When someone calls all the time, then they don't call anymore. You don't know what to assume about something. But here was a guy who called about the Yankees passionately all the time, and they weren't good yet. And it was just after they got good that it happened. He had an accident, so that was just absolutely, well, there's no good timing, but it was just, just horrific timing in terms of how long he had put in such a long, time waiting for the Yankees to turn things around. Vernon in Westport. What's up, Vernon?
Hey, Mike, I just wanted to say congratulations on a long, illustrious career. I work for Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes, and it was a pleasure working with you the past couple of years. This year in particular with Bernie Williams, it was a great event, and you're always very gracious and fun to talk to. And I just wanted to say thanks and good luck in your future.
Thank you. Thank you, Vernon. Thanks for calling, and to Southside and the band all those years, to all the bands, and to Smithereens, who joined us a couple of years down there, and to their extended family, condolences on the passing of one of their band members. So as we know, we mentioned that on the air the other day, so we do send our condolences to them, and to Southside and the guys who say thank you for being down there with us all the time. Same thing for Mike and the guys who have joined us in the past, whether it was Bernie or Mike Del Judas and his group, Big Shot. So any of the groups that have joined us down there, and even to the folks who run the place, because Barre's been great to us. It really is. Barre is, we always look forward to Barre. Barre is an amazing scene every year. It's unbelievable, and that's one thing. I really will miss Bari. If I do anything, I could see me going back down and doing a show from Bari, because I loved going to Bari once a year. It's fun. So who knows? Maybe we'll go to Bari one year. You never know. Mike in Garden City, what's up, Mike? Yes, Mike.
Much. I'm here.
What's happening?
I'm here. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Yeah,
huge fan for a long, long, long time. I just wanted to kind of remind you in the audience of how amazing your coverage of the whole Sandusky tragedy was, and how every day I was pinned to the radio for 4 or 5 hours a day listening to you talk about that and add perspective and walk us through all of that. So best of luck. You've been a huge part of my life for a long time, and I just want to say
thank you.
Thank you, and remind everyone for how amazing you were during that
period. Thank you. And really, I'm telling you, Kim deserves the credit for that, because she was down there, and she's the one who did all really the work, and she's the one who had the access to everybody down there. That's her school. And Kim Jones did a great job there. Rhonda in Manhattan. What's up, Rhonda?
Hello, Mike. I just want to tell you how much you've meant to me over the years. I started watching you on TV at night when you did the 11:30 show after the news on Sunday night.
Right.
And I've just been an avid fan since. You've been there for me when, I've been home. And I just want to tell you how much you've meant to me.
Thank you.
You have made me into a sports fanatic.
Well, that's great.
And,
that's a good thing to be. So, you should have called more often, but thank you very much.
Yeah,
I appreciate
this is my first time. Never called, but, my husband and I have now been converted to Mike Francesa fans.
Well, thank you.
And also on the station as well. So thanks so much, and I will continue to follow you wherever you may be.
Thank you very much. And you know what? Let me say this, because I can tell this right now. We're getting some callers today who are not people who call all the time and who have been listening for a long time. Don't be nervous. Just relax. It's not, I know the guys who do it every day. They're very adept at it, and they're very used to it. It's just like talking on the phone. Just relax and just go with it. So I can tell there's a couple folks, and I can tell they're a little nervous when they call. Just relax and have a good time with it. So it's nice to hear from everybody today. It's nice to hear from maybe a little different or a little larger part of the audience, because, most of the audience never calls. I mean, we're talking most, like 97% never call. So you never hear from a lot of the audience. So to hear from a little different part today is what we wanted to do, what we expected to do. And just relax. If you call, just take it easy. Back after this.